All right, here we go. Okay. Is it a hump or a drop? What do you say? You got to twist your words in every which way, because the motto will always dictate what you do. Everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues. Is it a straight line or does it curve? Some people unclamp it, but that is absurd. We all know that the model will always dictate what you do. Everybody knows that you are model afflicted blue. Model affliction. It's your addiction. That model affliction. It brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain. Conflating curvature with elevation change has got your local distance just out of range. That old biggie is gonna dictate everything that you do. And everybody knows that you got the model affliction blue. It's your decision defending the model position. You just don't know the geometric proposition. That old ball, it'll always be illogical to you. That's why perpendicularity is a puzzle to you. Model affliction. It's your addiction. Model affliction. It brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain.
World famous Buster. And we are live. Welcome, everyone. I know it's going to get fewer and fewer. Who wants to know about a model affliction? Probably not going to be going live for that much time tonight. We've got some work we need to do with the team in Discord. So we might, I don't know exactly how much we're going to be doing, but I want to bring On the Level into its video making phase, and to purposely to get rid of the model idea. I've had enough of it. We've spent a few days without, well, being outside of the ridiculous arena, but it's still following us everywhere. You can't make a comment about certain things. we've done what we do, and we do the very, very basics of things. And if anybody wants to join in with this basic understanding, we call it advanced simplicity. And it's just a basic way of us getting together to work out what's the basic way for us to understand things. The true knowledge. I think it's like a philosophy for beginners sort of course. For people that don't for people that haven't really ever thought about logic and mathematics and the importance of those sort of things for knowing, understanding nature, reality. Hopefully, through some basic argumentation, we can develop. This is what we call Epoche. I think that's one of the t-shirts I want. Just say Epoche. But anything dogma, there's no need for you to entertain an argument or have to take a side. Because I think that's what I've noticed. Within this arena, there are a group of people that don't actually have an argument, but they want to pretend that they do. And when they do pretend, they do it as a not that. They always start their conversation with something that you haven't done rather than something that they have done. And that's what we're going to be focusing on, the things that we have done, not that people say that we haven't done. So that's where we are. We obviously are still going to be hounded by this group of people. I'm going to call them dogmaticians. I think on Friday I put a video out after it was a late time. It was a test to see whether people would actually watch it, and it does seem like the better time for videos going out is late on for the American crowd. So I might be doing that in the future, putting out shorter videos of a night time. But this live show, I don't know. Sorry, was that somebody? Nope, it's all right. So, yes, model affliction blues and the problems that come from taking on a model, especially the dogmatic model. Now, what we deal with is arguments and proofs, and because dogma comes as a there can be no proof through dogma, but you can prove something dogmatic, and that's what we're going to be aiming at. That's hopefully what I've been trying to show people, that there is another way, but most people can't be told things. The group of people that we're dealing with, I guess the ones that brought us into this arena, the ones that have placed us in this Discord server, the ones that have pushed us out of their arenas, the flat earthers and the globe earthers, they don't seem to want to take on an argument from reality. And for that reason, it's pretty obvious that these discussions and these they're meant to be for people to come in and discuss the model. Well, they can't do it, and it's a shame. And not wanting to beat anybody up over the fact that they can't talk about their model, is that really we've found out that their model is entirely built on dogma. There is no facts. They have plenty of evidence and misguided reasoning behind it, but there is no facts about their model. It's all just shadow giants and hearsay. Other people have said things, consensus. Not really interested in any of that anymore. So the idea is to put forward a series of arguments that should lay out the case that all of these guys seem to be running from. Now, we've developed these arguments because these are the questions that nobody can answer. And when we say nobody, we mean nobody, because these are just basic arguments from reality that there can not really be any rebuttal to. So, there was a conversation that I did have for people to understand the model affliction, and it's based around LIGO. It's only a short conversation that occurred this weekend. Now, what we have here is I think there's a few people been talking about it. There is an imposter going around in these servers. So what we've done is to save the people who we know from being struck by this imposter, we have required people in this Discord server to come in and verify that it is actually them. Because we know that there are certain people that do come and they can talk. Well, this imposter is coming into Discord servers pretending to be these people, but never coming and speaking, because they can take on and mimic the avatar and the name for people. So you've got to be careful what's going on. So in one of those exchanges, we had a little short conversation. I think it was on Sunday. It was just before I had to take my son back home. So we can go over that if we're struggling for anything. Has anybody got anything else that's occurred this weekend over the model? I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of fretting going on with the dogmatic model side. Has anyone heard anything shocking? Anything new about the model? Or is it just basically the same old, you can't prove that level is...
I think you've got the wrong people in here for that.
I know.
The people in here don't really go anywhere else.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of a different crowd, haven't we? I mean, like, we'll do have a couple, I'm pretty sure. The blue marble scientists. Yeah, there are many of them, not just the one that pretends to be the governor of all of blue marble science. There are many blue marble scientists. I had loads to say. We should really do these shows of the morning.
That's what I keep saying, but nobody would watch them.
I know. Yeah.
Because it would be too early.
Yeah.
But yeah, just as soon as we get up in the morning, that's like the best time, isn't it? Really?
It's when I have all my ideas, but they've all gone by the time we come around. Let me just check, because what I did was I did have a conversation going on with Seek Truth, Speak Lies. That guy, he put a thing out. Oh, it's all gone.
He's another one I almost forgot existed.
I know. But he put a... I think I'm going to have to put... Did I put it out? In the live chat. Yeah, he put this He put this out. Can you see that? Just a community post
Yeah.
on YouTube. And like I say, I'm not a flat earther, but the way this conversation went, so he puts out that, and I say, well, actually, let's go over this here. It says, he says, flat earthers in a nutshell. And it says, he that knows nothing will believe anything. Okay. Bit weird for this guy to do it, because I said, didn't you consider yourself a flat earther at one point? If you were, how do you now consider yourself any different? He that knows nothing will believe anything. And he says, yes. I also openly admit that I was an absolute idiot at that point too. I knew nothing. Right, so he does know nothing. And hence why I got drawn in.
He was talking about himself then.
I think so,
possibly.
yeah. And he says, anybody that truly knows some physics would know that flat Earth is an impossibility. And we say, absolutely. Of course it's impossible. It's not flat. We've been saying that for ages. So, flat Earth is in a nutshell. And these guys have got a different idea, right? Because I've never been a flat earther. So I can't understand what they're arguing against. Just sounds mental. And he says, he's just come back with another reply. He says, and actually, if we want to use your semantics, the earth cannot be level either. Yes. We know. Nobody's ever claimed the earth to be level either. Not here, not in this server.
Water 6 level, not earth.
Yeah, a level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference. That's the argument, not the earth is level. I mean, that's ridiculous. These people are just talking about the earth because they're just obsessed with it. I mean, there it is. And actually, if we want to use your semantics, he's not using my semantics. Nobody's ever said that.
But the way anybody that truly knows some physics would know that spinning ball is impossibility also.
Yeah, if they have any sort of idea of anything, you know it's not flat, and you can't just say it's level or it's horizontal. That doesn't make any fucking any sense at all. The earth doesn't come into the conversation. The statement, like I've said from day one, level is a straight line on a horizontal plane. That says nothing about the earth. So, this conversation's been going on for quite a while on YouTube, and there was a bit on Twitter as well. I've noticed a fair few people coming around, and I don't know. That guy did consider himself a flat earther. He was a flat earther, yet he's the one that wants to say, he that knows nothing will believe anything. I mean, I think I said that knowing nothing, knowing that you know nothing is a good start for the basis of understanding knowledge and how you learn. So, these science guys, I think Brad should capitalize the S on his science. Doesn't seem right. It's hot. I don't know what else they've got. Do you want me to queue up this video? I mean, I know Michael like it, and it's going to be hot stuff. But it appears now that there is a geometric argument, obviously, been brought to light. Not made by anybody, but highlighted, let's say, by a certain group of people that are using logic and geometry, based in reality as well. These aren't coming from any side of any particular argument. These arguments have been made purely because a group of people seem to be in the position in opposition to these statements that we say. So therefore, although they don't need defended, these arguments have been made up purely to defend these positions that we've stated right from the beginning. So, I mean, let me see. It might take me a while to get this. So, if anybody's does anybody want to hear this about LIGO? I think the first ever honest talk about it. Uh, 2 hours. Right, seeing as nobody else is talking, nobody's got anything. This one is a conversation that I went over on Sunday. Now, Sundays are like our weekend, but this being a Discord server, it's pretty much like this all the time. This is just when we go live. Everybody makes me talk and say shit. So I'll give this for you guys, but I don't think it needs to go up and be live, because I don't think we actually need the pictures or anything. No, I think that should do. Right, okay, so it gives me a chance to go and make a brew while this conversation's going on. But like always, if you hear anything, speak up. It would be handy if we've got Mobius, Mike Jones, LIGO, anybody that has got any sort of a vested interest in LIGO, should really listen closely to this, because this conversation is going to be based upon advanced simplicity, coming at it from a position that we come at it from. So tell us whether you can hear this from the original blueprints.
Yeah, I used the starting and the end elevation from the as-builts.
Have you ever found any of the original?
No, just the as-builts are allowing. They mention the migration, which I guess is how you get from the original to the as-builts.
Do you think it's normal for a horizontal to have a change in elevation?
I think it's normal to have as-builts.
Because like in that thing that you're drawing, you do have a straight line that has a change of elevation, don't you? You know,
Yes.
like if you were to make an elevation profile. Okay, so what we're talking about here is conversation at the weekend. Now, it's been stated by a group of people that there are elevation profiles that go against the norm. And these elevation profiles have been made by blue marble scientists, really, that have been put in a position to make they've been put in a position to find something that they can rely on that's going to help them out understanding their model. And since there is nothing that they can ever go for, they've relied on the fact that somebody has made some as-built drawings. Now, these as-built drawings come after. Again, I'll carry on with this just to give you an insight. If you don't really understand and you're not following, let us know and I'll try and explain more, because there is a long backstory involved within the LIGO elevation profile argument, I'm guessing, because these elevation profiles that have been done, very rarely seen. Not many people have actually seen them. We're hoping there shall be more. Listen to them. Of that LIGO arm. It would curve, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think many people made the elevation profile with the as-built information and show that it curves.
But it doesn't curve, does it? That's the weird part.
Yeah, the arms are perfectly straight.
So the arms of LIGO are perfectly straight, yet when this certain group of people take the data and plot it on an elevation profile, it curves. And they don't see anything wrong with that. They think that is a proof of the dogmatic model. Well, it is in more ways than one, really. So, perfectly straight, yet the elevation profile of it is curved. Like the only elevation profile ever made in existence that has a curved straight line is that one for LIGO. And you guys claim to be construction guys, don't you? You know, like that you know about architectural drawings, elevation profiles, construction methods, all of that. Yeah. One elevation profile in history that's been done by you guys shows a straight line being curved.
No, people just took the as-built elevations and plotted them.
Yeah.
So the y-axis would be the change in elevation, and the x-axis is the distance.
No, Z for the. But on the elevation profile, yeah, you've got. But how could it be curved?
Well, it's because the Earth's surface is curved.
But that's how you work out elevations.
Yeah, I also did the made a function which shows how the basically shows how the elevation changes over distance. Something else I shared with Mike here.
But straight lines don't curve. Yeah, one elevation profile that's been done by. Was it done by Blue Marble, or did he get given that?
I think a couple people plotted it, but
Blue Marble being one of them, or you being one of them?
No, I never plotted them.
You never did the elevation. See the way how readily he takes on the term Blue Marble. I mean, outside of this arena, what's Blue Marble? Isn't it strange that one person can embody those two words? Blue Marble's a picture taken by some guys. It's not a person yet. This man here is taking that to be a person. When I'm asking if Blue Marble did it, that's could be anybody really, but we're taking this on as some person, as though it is some person. Profile. Very strange.
No, I did the drawing, and then I did a mathematical equation.
Well, we are people who deal with normal reality type construction. I mean, I know that's what I did when I was at college. I did building construction, surveying, architectural planning, quantity surveying, concretes, all of that sort of stuff, the practical sort of stuff, coming from a trade. But then to find out that certain people think that elevation profile of the straight line curves for some reason.
Well, the reason is because the Earth curves. So LIGO has to be perfectly straight. The curve you see in the elevation profile is actually the Earth curvature.
It's just imaginary, you mean? Because you can map elevation changes on contour lines on maps. But you're saying there's a curve to a zero elevation, aren't you? Change.
Yeah, constant elevation will follow the curvature of the Earth. So if the elevation was constantly 300 feet, and if that were plotted not on an elevation profile where the x-axis is just considered zero elevation.
So here we go. This group of people that we're talking about have stated their case. A zero elevation change is curved. That's where we are. Yeah, every elevation profile ever shows it as a straight line. Rumpus has done it again. It's another one. They have to stick together, this group of people. And there are only a few people that mention about this sort of thing. And they all have to come out and defend each other. And they're the people that you regularly see. Now, there is only us, really, that have stuck to this one particular reality-based argument. I don't want to bend straight lines in elevation profile. I can't see why it would be done. I know how elevation profiles are drawn, and I know how elevation changes are measured. What these guys are talking about just doesn't happen. There's only one special case. There's only one special case, and this one special case, these people have been led down a little path. I can remember when it happened. This series of events are very, very clear to me. was on Twitter. Somebody called me a child abuser. I came down to find level is horizontal. I came to find somebody who I thought would be the person who I would need to talk to. A surveyor, supposedly. Yeah, he was a globe surveyor, but he's a surveyor. Surely all I would need to do is to have one conversation with this guy, and this mess could be all sorted out. Turns out that Jesse Kozlowski said the opposite of what I expected him to say. Then he ran. He went, disappeared, gone away. No longer to be around here. To be replaced with people like Rumpus. Don't take him on, Paige. If Rumpus wants to come and have a conversation, tell him to come in here. Have a conversation. And Gadget, can we please refrain, if we're a moderator, from name calling? We do have some rules and mod rules. We'll chat about that. I can't follow what's going on in the live chat. And Rumpus is talking to other people. Okay, I will just let this on play.
Then you would see the curvature of the Earth.
And you believe that the LIGO is the only thing that actually shows that elevation profile to be a curved straight line?
Yeah, it says in some of the documentation when they built it, they had to take in the curvature of the Earth. And it had to be perfectly straight, because obviously a laser is going to be going perfectly straight in a vacuum.
The land does change. So we do know that the actual arms have to be straight, right? And obviously the land isn't straight. So you have to take into account the elevation changes of the land when building the project. I mean, you have to do that on every project.
Yeah, they could have built LIGO on the side of a hill or the side of a mountain and it would have worked just fine. It doesn't have to be, you know, at a, it can't be at a constant elevation.
But it has to be on a straight, right? Both of the arms have to lie, I would say, in a horizontal plane. And I think a lot of other people say in a horizontal plane.
No, they could be built on the side of a mountain and work just the same.
I don't think so.
They could have made LIGO, you know, a tower in one direction and it would still work. It just had to be straight.
Well, it's got a beam splitter that splits a beam and sends it perpendicularly.
Right, but the beam doesn't care about the orientation of the arms.
Well, the mirrors certainly do. And like the fact that it's straight though is the point, that you think that straight line has a change in elevation. Now I would say if a straight line has a change in elevation, then it's sloping. It literally cannot be horizontal if there is a change in elevation.
Well, there is a change in elevation. You can see that in the as-built drawings.
So they're built on a slope then, the arms.
Yeah, when I did the equations, I also included a slope. And so yeah, you could definitely get from one end to the other with a slope.
Okay, yeah, well, that's the thing then. So they're not horizontal, although other people have labelled them horizontal. Like when, what's he called? F.E. Dogma was doing his one, he put a tangent point on each end and he called it a horizontal.
Yeah, it looks like the way they built it, they started out at one end, at least at the Hanford, being lined up with plumb, but then as it extended out, there was a change in elevation. So there's only at the end is where it's perpendicular to the plumb line, like the northwest end station is. That's the way it appears in the drawings. And also the center station appears to be lined up with plumb for the southwest arm for Hanford.
Yeah, F.E. Dogma's got one there, the curved LIGO beam arm slab elevations. It's got my name on it, but I haven't got a clue why he's talking about that. That's what you said it was, wasn't it?
You can't see it
Yes.
live chat, you need to give him the roll.
Yeah, if it's a constant elevation, it's going to follow the curvature of the Earth. And since the LIGO arms can't curve, they're not going to follow the curvature of the Earth, so they're actually going to increase in elevation from where they're the point where they're plumb.
Right, well, like he's put that there, you said there would be a curve in it, elevation profile. And I would say, no, there is no curve in an elevation profile. I say straight line. Like every elevation profile ever that I've know about, it has a straight baseline. Well, you've seemed to have called the level line the straight one. Well, I say level is horizontal.
Yeah, you've been saying that for like 3 or 4 years now.
I've been saying it forever.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, that's because it's provable.
And people have also been telling you that if you look at a surveyor's manual, that a level surface is a curved surface.
Yeah, I know people have been saying that. But actually,
Well,
practically,
the manuals actually say that.
Practically, all elevation profiles have a straight baseline, right? And then the straight line that would be in reality would also have a straight elevation profile as well. A straight line on every elevation profile would be plotted as a straight line, apart from one group of people that want to link my name to a curved straight line. Not got a clue why.
Well, elevation plot, you said the word plot, and that's just what it is. So they start with an elevation of 0, and then they plot the changes. So that's just the change in the elevation. But the x-axis doesn't curve, so your elevation profiles are going to show the change in elevation. They're not going to show the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There's only one set of elevation profiles that seem to show this curve of the Earth. And they're the ones that are done by you and your friends. Blue Marble Science, Flat Earth, Dogma. I don't know anybody else. I think Flat Earth Mathematics is about to get involved in it as well.
Well, LIGO is unique because it had to be perfectly straight because of the laser, so it could not follow the curvature of the Earth.
But you guys have plotted a curved elevation profile for it.
Well, anybody could plot that curve by just taking the elevations from the as-built drawings.
But yeah, but most people would say, wait a minute, that can't be right. Wouldn't they?
Well,
Well,
it is
say,
right.
like, perhaps somebody's made a mistake here.
It's evidence that the Earth's curves.
It's
That's
not.
why.
It's evidence that there's one particular elevation profile that's been drawn by a certain group of people that seems to show a straight line as a curved line.
And that's because LIGO had to be built perfectly straight and not follow the curvature of the Earth.
But why is it curved in elevation profile?
That's actually reflecting the curvature of the Earth. So it doesn't curve, but the elevation profile, since the zero elevation is just the x-axis is a straight line, will show a curvature.
I don't understand what that means. Like a straight line in elevation profile, every elevation profile is a straight line.
Well, a constant elevation will follow the curvature of the Earth, but that's not what you're seeing in an elevation profile. Elevation profile is a plot of a change in elevation.
Like if have you ever seen an elevation profile of the LIGO Panama Canal?
Yes, I've seen that. And again, that's a plot just like you would on an XY axis. So you're setting zero elevation as the x-axis, and that's always going to be, at the on the x-axis is zero. It's not reflecting the curvature of the Earth because it's just the change in elevation.
Yeah. But why have you guys ever done an elevation profile of the Panama Canal? You could
No, I
do
haven't.
blue marble science elevation profiles. Guys could specialize in it, because you guys are the only ones that do show straight lines in elevation profile as curves. I think that's really strange.
Yeah, the only one is LIGO because it was the only one to be built perfectly straight. And if it was a railroad track or even another really big building, it would probably just follow the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, pausing it. What do you reckon to that? The only reason this is the only elevation profile that shows a straight line to be a curve is because this is the only building ever to be made straight.
Yeah, but don't canals have to be perfectly straight too?
Would say so to myself.
I would think so.
By the way, he said that this on Panama Canal elevation profile, this horizontal is 0.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is 0, it means that this is no elevation change. So this straight line horizontal is no elevation change. And referring to LIGO, he is just assuming. This is just begging the question. He wants level to be curved, and then after calculations, when he is already assumed that level is curved, he is calculating this upward curvature of the horizontal. But this is just based on assumption that already level is curved. So it cannot prove anything. So just another begging the question.
Well, yeah, they're assuming that because there is one, and there is only one set of drawings that seem to do this. They're assuming that that's governing the entirety of all elevation profiles ever.
Well, this is just nonsense because this Panama Canal is much larger than this LIGO, and it is straight. So if the curvature were present there, that would be the perfect occasion to show curvature, much better than LIGO, I would say. So if it is not present there, it means that on larger project it is not present. It means that on the smaller it cannot be shown also. So this is proof for theory. It is called. So the stronger argument. So we have the stronger argument about elevation profiles from Panama Canal. This is stronger argument. So if we have stronger argument that it contradicts the weaker argument, of course, Panama Canal wins in that case.
Yeah, but Panama Canal doesn't have the backing of the blue marble scientists, does it? I mean, blue marble
It doesn't,
scientists is new science, right? The Panama Canal would be considered old science, wouldn't it? I bet
Yes.
the Panama Canal was built under old school science.
Yes, they may do as built profile for Panama Canal.
That's what I'd say. I want them to redo all of the profiles, elevation profiles of all sorts of things. I mean, this comes down to, right, the fact that when I came into this arena to find a surveyor and ask him a question about level being horizontal. Now, he particularly told me that level would drop away from horizontal, which has led the blue marble scientists and their team of doing the blue marble scientific method into this position now where level has to be different than horizontal. And this is the only way they can do it. They've been forced into a position purposely through this, really. They've gone straight from Lake Pontchartrain, showing where the 90-foot hump just down the road a little bit further to LIGO, where the straight lines actually are. It's like Logos handed us these two things and put them right next to each other. All you need to do is compare these two things. Now, Jesse Kozlowski gave us the bridge. And he handed that to Blue Marble. Like many people have said, it's a 90-foot sagittar, supposedly. I state that the bridge is horizontal from one end to the other. But these guys have developed a 90-foot hump in the middle. That's 23 miles. So the LIGO being 2 miles a little bit further down the road. Well, that obviously has to comport to what Jesse Kozlowski gave everyone when he teamed up with Walter Bislin. The Blue Marble Science team, along with their surveyors that are not around anymore to defend any of the positions that they have, they're basing everything now on the fact that they've seen surveying books. Well, brilliant. Let's get these surveyors out there and get them to prove it for you, because we have proofs in reality. I don't need to get surveyors involved with the advanced simplicity that we deal with, because literally anybody can get involved with what we do. There's only a certain group of people that seem to oppose it. And These are the people that want to bend straight lines in elevation profiles. It's like the men that stare at goats. These are the men that want to straight lines to bend. Very strange. What, like a canal over much vaster distances?
Yeah, a canal would definitely follow the curvature of the Earth.
Why aren't they shown in elevation profile as doing so? Because I think you guys are just making it up. I think straight lines in elevation profile are actually straight lines. Like vertical lines in elevation profile are straight lines, aren't they?
Yes, because it's your elevation profile is basically just plotting it on a graph.
Yeah, that's what they do. Architectural drawings, plans, elevation profile, side profile. They represent reality. Isometric drawings as well. All of them represent reality. And they all have straight lines as actually being straight lines.
Yeah, to get into bigger things, use something like Civil CAD or GIS, or there are other things that take into effect, large areas, mostly worried about watersheds and things like that, but I'm not an expert on any of this.
Yeah, Louisiana would be bothered about water and high water marks, won't they? Is it the 500-year high? For when they're
Yeah,
building projects, they need to know
yeah,
which ones might flood.
yeah, it's really important for floodplains and whatnot to have basically good information as far as elevations go. But like, I'm not the expert. I've only read a little bit.
You just do the drawings.
Yeah, I did a scale drawing of LIGO.
And did you add these so-called elevation changes to it, or did you keep them as straight lines?
I used the start and end elevations, and then build it to scale. Also using great circles to show the Earth.
Did you do the LIGO one for blue?
No, I didn't do anything for blue.
The Livingston one, because it was Blue Marble Science that brought up the tangent point being in the middle of the arm past the other end. Did you help him with that?
No, I didn't help him with that. I didn't do anything for blue, but I did. I did both the Livingston and the Hanford LIGO drawings in CAD.
I've got one. Oh, I did have one. The PC's been shut down, hasn't it? I've got a drawing of LIGO. It looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I mean, like on 3 of the arms, you can understand like a 4-foot slope, because if somebody puts a tangent at one end. But that odd one, that one arm, it's a little bit different.
I don't know who did it, but someone actually plotted all of the arms. But
They're all
they all
curved,
have it.
aren't they?
Yeah, they all have a curve like that.
That's weird, because they're dead straight.
Right. They're built perfectly straight, yet the elevation profile curves, and the curve also happens to match the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, pausing it again. The arms are built straight, yet the elevation profile curves. It's mad, isn't it?
If elevation profile curves, that would mean that concrete would curve and go away from this tubes, let's say. That would be measurable, I think.
Yeah, in their minds, elevation profiles that have a straight line, that doesn't comport to reality to these people. There's just one set of elevation profiles that comports with reality, and those are the ones not done by architects and not done by anybody that was building the plans within the blueprints or anything like that. No, just done by people like whatever Blue Marble Science, I Can Science That, is it? I can't remember, there's so many of them. There's a certain group of people that probably have never done any construction in their life. Never done any. I know Blue Marble says he's an engineer, but I don't think that was anything to do with anything construction wise or based. There's people who buy knackered theodolites off the internet, running around purporting to be the expert on theodolites because he buys cheap knackered ones off the internet. There's a very strange group of people that when I first came into this arena, you come in and you think, well, I know what I know, but there's some people are telling me that I don't know what I know. They're telling me I'm wrong. So I'll come into this arena and find out exactly where they think I'm wrong. This group of people are the people that seem to be obsessed with us now. It's gone full circle. They come round here obsessed with us that know that straight lines are just straight. Horizontal is a straight line, horizontal and vertical, perpendicular to each other. Now, these arms of LIGO are definitely on a horizontal plane. Been claimed to be on a horizontal plane for quite a while. Now, that horizontal plane is a horizontal plane. Yet, these people want to tell you that that horizontal plane, when put on an elevation profile, is actually a curve. That's fantastic. And I don't know what people's impression of when they hear that. What are they meant to think? When you hear that there's a group of people out there that think an elevation profile of a straight horizontal line actually curves. That's mad. I personally don't think that the brain knows how to comprehend that sort of information. When people hear that information, their mind goes blank. Because it's not based in reality. It's just far removed from reality as you can get. Yet these people have been led into a position where they are openly admitting that that's the position they have to take. The model. This part of the model wasn't actually wrote before we came in here 4 years ago. They've been led down this path to end up here, rewriting the dogma for the model. Now, that dogma for that model has to be told to people. You can't have people being unaware of the very essence of the entire model based around the understanding of a baseline. These people actually want to bend it upwards. It goes completely contrary to what you would even imagine for their model. That's why it's so fucking fantastic. It's like a double reversal. It's amazing. Yeah, that's weird, that, isn't it? Like the only elevation profiles with a curve are done by people obsessed with the curve of the earth, and that isn't really translatable to a horizontal.
Yeah, like I said, anybody could have taken those elevations and plotted them. So that's what the as-built show.
Sorry, the missus came in and had a word. What was that?
I was just saying anybody can take those elevations from the as-built and plot them, just like you show in the picture.
Yeah, but most people, I can't understand why people would want to do that, because, again, they are straight lines. They're purported to be the straightest thing in the universe. So that's it, isn't it? I mean, like, why bother looking at the elevation profiles? Like, if somebody showed you an elevation profile of a straight thing and said, look at this, it's got a curve in it. They all curve upwards. Do they curve?
Yeah.
Do they curve down? Or does it depend where you start your elevation profile from to, which direction the curvature exists in?
The curvature kind of depends on where it starts out to be, where the point where it was built, where it was plumb.
That's not
some
how
of them
elevation profiles work, are they? Do you reckon to that? The elevation profile depends, the curve depends on where you start your horizontal from.
That's strange. Yes. Unusual.
It curves up from a certain point. It's madness. And we've got some mathematician, right? Obviously a mathematician if he's got that in his name. Curving straight lines in elevation profiles. Elevation profiles are practical things. Look at the position they've put themselves in. How did we get here? Carefully. That's how we get here. Like,
well, these
normal
are
elevation profiles.
like I said, these are plotted on an XY, and they're just the data. Literally, you're just taking
All
the data.
elevation profiles are plotted on the XY.
That's right, including these.
But those ones have a straight line being curved.
It's evidence of the curvature of the Earth. Something that was purposely built to be perfectly straight and not follow the Earth's curvature will show the elevation profile is curved, because that's reflecting the Earth's curvature.
don't think they reflect anything. They just show what is. I don't know.
And the only reason someone would do this, I mean, the reason it's here is because people are showing this as evidence of the curvature of the Earth.
Well, I would say that the elevation profile has an equal, like that shows elevation. Basically parallel horizontals. I say, wait, why did you come back? I thought you'd left.
Yeah, I did leave, but I wanted to share those drawings, and Mike was booted off of the Blues server, so I just shared them here.
Thank you very much. We're going to be doing a fair bit of stuff about like basic geometry. So do you think people are aware of this? Or do you think it's just within this small group of people that have manufactured elevation profiles of straight lines that curve? Because I think you're obsessed with something. Something's made you do that. Join in with a group of people that do that. Most of them are called flat earth something. Did you never think of doing that? Giving yourself a flat earth name?
No, I came up with this name when I joined your server, whatever it was, 3 years ago, and it said, "What do you want to call yourself?" And I started typing whatever you want to call me, but I just shortened it to whatever.
Yeah, you can sort of be anything. Do you not want to be yourself? Or do you think this, I don't know, this character that you've made can get away with just saying any old shit? Because I think it's strange, the fact that, you know, we're just trying to deal with reality and talk to people about reality, yet people like you and people like Nathan Oakley, you know, all of the flat earthers and all of the people that are obsessed with the dogmatic globe, they seem to be obsessed with us about reality for some reason. Why do you think that is?
That's a pretty good question. I also wonder why someone would do daily shows that run for hours on end talking about it.
Talking about reality. I noticed we've got another guy in the chat. You do realize, you people in the moderators and stuff in the YouTube chat, the idea is to have a conversation actually in here about these sort of things. So please try and encourage the people to come into the Discord, because this one's pretty interesting. He thinks verticals have different orientations. Whether he thinks that I don't know. I don't want to say whatever, so let's go. Carry on with this. What, you wonder why people would talk about reality in
Well,
a really strange arena that we seem to be in, where people manufacture names based around flat earth, and like you just want whatever.
yeah, I found it like a lot of people just through YouTube.
You found right, so here's the thing, guys, in the YouTube chat. I don't know whether you're aware or not. What we do is we're going over here elevation profiles, which are concerned with horizontals and levels. And we've got somebody in the chat very cleverly talking about verticals. So obviously not talking about what we are talking about on in the live show. Talking about like the opposite of it. Now, if that doesn't tell you something about what this arena is all about, then I don't know. I don't really know. Thinking through YouTube.
No, just the whole flat Earth thing. I was actually amazed at how many people were into not just flat Earth, but other conspiracy type stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, there's loads of people. They seem to be obsessed with us, but we're talking about reality. Do you think you don't think that reality is some sort of a conspiracy, do you? Do you think there's a conspiracy within the building construction trades to show elevation profiles with straight lines? Do you think that's a conspiracy?
Well, let
I
me
don't.
ask you, if you saw images of Earth from space, which obviously shows that it's a globe.
I've seen pictures, yeah. There's loads of pictures of all sorts of stuff.
So in order to say that those pictures are all fake, that
I
means there
don't
has to
mean
be
to
some
say
kind
that
of
they're all
mass.
fake. They're all just pictures. They're just pictures.
Right, that show the Earth as a globe, which is reality, right?
Oh, well, they're those pictures that you see. They're just pictures.
Yes, and there's
To me, I don't put any weight in pictures. They're just images. They could be anything. Pictures of anything. You've seen loads of movies and stuff on the TV.
yes, but you know, spacecraft that go into outer space, you know, all the
Have you
calculations
ever heard
needed.
of Epoche?
What's that?
Have you ever heard of Epoche?
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
It's whenever you see dogma, epoche is the ability to just release it. Just there's no need to govern yourself to anything regarding any dogma. Just release it. It works really well in modern day life. There's no stress because what you're talking about there, I have got no way of verifying that, so I don't need to take it on. And I don't feel the need to take it on just because somebody else has. I mean, you can have
I
it,
watched,
I find. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, I watch the International Space Station go overhead all the time. It's not like it doesn't, you know, there's nothing that you can't actually see. Admittedly, your average person isn't going to go up into space, but we're
Can't be that
impacted by it
though.
all the
It
time.
can't be that tells you to, you know, an elevation profile of a straight line actually curves. Because that doesn't comport to reality, right? You've got to give us that, right? The fact that these elevation profiles of what you know to be straight lines are actually curving. I mean, that's a backwards thinking for you to be able to relate to that, surely.
No, it makes perfect sense because the elevation profile is just plotting the elevations. And since the Earth curves, it's actually the LIGO would be the straight part, and the Earth would curve away and basically down. The elevation, like a constant elevation, would curve down. So it would appear that LIGO curves up when you plot it as an elevation profile.
So you've separated level and horizontal, which is where I came into this at the beginning. I've met a group of people that are so obsessed with dogmatic models that they've literally separated level from horizontal. Even though you know in reality they're the same.
A level surface is a curved surface, which makes sense if the Earth is a globe. So
Well, horizontals are straight, which makes sense because everybody knows that levels are tools for establishing horizontal planes of reference.
yes, but
How can you curve
a
the tool?
horizontal is also it's an orientation.
Yes. Perpendicular to vertical. The other orientation. There is only really two, isn't there? Horizontal and vertical. Everything will be referenced to both of those. And neither of them are curved. Just you want to curve the tool that establishes horizontals for some strange reason.
No, it's just the surface of the Earth which is curved, and that would be a constant elevation. The constant elevation, if you plotted every single one of them, would be a globe.
Well, the surface of liquid water would have to curve the steady state of the surface of liquid water. Fluids, wouldn't it?
Correct.
Okay. And a water level is the tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference.
Well, you'd need 3 points to actually establish a plane, but I know what you're talking about.
Which could be done in reality, couldn't it?
Sure, you can use a water level to establish 3 points.
Okay. Right, I'm sorry. I've just seen Askins put the Dells over at in Gems. So you might want to find yourself over there. Should be far more entertaining. I've got to go out anyway. I'm going to go out and do some drone flying. So let me jump on my phone.
You just
Right, that's the end of that. I say I had to leave. It's handy that we've got another, obviously, somebody that we obviously know has come back with a different account, added mathematics onto the back of his name, and he's obsessed with the Earth. That's not a mathematician. Mathematicians aren't like that. Del was,
I
he
think they were. I
was
think
at Gems, not right now. That was sorry, yeah.
I think he would also spell it correctly as well.
Yeah. Well, Mathematicas, sort of, it might be foreign. Yeah, because he's not. He that was on recorded Sunday yesterday, so Del went over to Gem Pandas. I don't know. Not interested in myself. That sort of flat Earth bullshit is ridiculous. People getting involved in it. I've got my hands full with people wanting to go against every elevation profile ever drawn, apart from the ones that have been drawn by a few people that we all seem to know within this arena that have developed this because we pointed them at it. The moment we were talking about Lake Riquier in Louisiana. And then we went to LIGO because it's a reference. You always, every time, need a straight line reference. And because of the fact that a certain guy called Jesse Kozlowski told people that level has to separate from horizontal, it drops down, drops away from horizontal. That's what Jesse Kozlowski said. And because he said that, Blue Marble Science and I Can Science That and I Can Science It Out, Ruhif, all of these other people now, anybody that gets involved with reality geometry, we call that surveying. The people who do practical geometry, they realize Euclid every day in their jobs. Well, it's been told to people within this arena that there's a certain guy called Jesse Kozlowski, and he's the only guy that they've got, but he's done a runner, he's gone away, but still goes out and has meals with flat earth mathematics. He's on the phone to Blue Marble Science. He talks to Chaiki. He's not brave enough to come out and tell everybody about what he's actually done. He's just sort of disappeared, hidden away. Left people like Mr. Mathematician to come into the chat to try and defend him, to pretend mathematicians think that verticals are radials, extensions of radials. It's mad. Nobody, there's only a few people that actually say that. I don't know actually how many actually believe it. And I know for a fact that there is none that know it to be true. It's a long time game that's been played, and social media allows people to narrow people into groups, and that's what's gone on here. There is a tiny arena that's acted upon by both sides, and none of it actually exists. The people within it, within the flat earth / globe earth arena, they're not real. All we've been trying to do for 4 years is have an honest conversation about reality. And they can't let their models go for long enough to talk about reality. So I can't be doing with it. We need to find people who are willing to talk about reality, who are unaware of these models. There's got to be people out there that aren't just obsessed with the model, that are willing to chase everyone, everywhere, whenever they talk to anybody. Yes, Mike. Yes, it was. Are you coming to it a bit late? Catching up? I think I'll put that out as a standalone one, because at least he's honest. He's willing to say these things about elevation profiles curving. Not many people are willing to say that. The consequences of a dogmatic model require you to bend horizontal lines in elevation profiles. And then blame it on Bev as much as you want, right? Say, because Bev says that level is horizontal, that's why this occurs. Well, I don't want to say too much, but maybe because of the way that the argument's been built, maybe because of the way that they've produced their blue marble scientific method into reality, they sort of realized Globgic. Don't know who they can realize. It's not like Euclid. I suppose if I wrote Globgic, then could you be realizing? Yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? They've been put in this really tricky position, and you ask, how did they end up here? They ended up here because somebody said to me, can you prove it? And I said, maybe, don't know. Let's see. Challenging people can be the making of people, I think. Definitely made me. I was nowhere near the same person I am now when somebody challenged me to prove that level was horizontal. I've already done a couple of proofs that level is horizontal, but that was me practicing. This is a different game now. Coming after me and me family here at On the Level. I'm going to be fighting back for sure. Godzilla. See, you should come in, Gods. You have to go stay on the certain things you can't write. It's like it's too triggering. There's other ways of doing it. Less triggering ways of saying the same thing. So the views of moderators are their own views. They just like to, I guess, trigger people. It doesn't end up with them being in the, doesn't end up with them being in the live chat, and they're meant to be coming in here to have a chat. I know the YouTube chats normally. This is a chance for us to try and accommodate these people and get them to come in and have a conversation. You know that most of them actually want to say this. They've been saying a lot of things. You should come in, Gods. This is where you deal with it, in Discord. Yeah, that was yesterday, Mike. You were probably birthday partying, which I hope it went very well. Son's birthdays weekend. Right, so has anybody got anything else they want to go over? Doesn't look like much is going on today. I don't know whether anybody else can talk or anything.
Well, I can sort of talk, but I got so much work to do. I'm supposed to be here for 2 days, and the problem is there's like a week worth of work on this stupid car.
Yeah.
So I kind of think I got suckered by my boss while my boss went on vacation, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just go up to the other shop and spend 2 days there and get this car done for me." I'm like, can't be serious. I get here this morning, and this is like at least a week's worth of work. I have to wire the entire car. Got no wires in it at all. It's ridiculous. So that's where I'm at. But I've been listening. That's about it.
Yeah.
It is Model Affliction Monday, so we should be expected that all we're gonna get is dogmatic glow believers in a text chat and not actually come in and have anything to say. I think is where you were going with that.
Well, I don't know. We literally just listened to a guy saying that the elevation profile of a straight line is curved.
Right. Like that's just it's the dogma in them. They can't help it.
Well, that's not dogma. Literally, that is not dogma. Nobody's told them to say that. They've developed that entirely
developed
because
the picture.
Well, they've developed that entirely because of the statement level is horizontal.
Yeah, it can't be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a
can't
statement
be.
it can't be. See, look, yeah,
That goes against the model.
That's how.
Yeah, it goes against their model.
That's how closely linked this guy is to this conversation tonight. He literally saying the same thing.
He knows what's going on. But can't tell you that it's only because he has a belief in his mind. Strange days, sir.
Yeah, this is where we're at. He can't. None of these people can come in. They can type it out, but they've got no other reasoning to come in here and have a conversation about it. They're literally only there to type that out. That's all they're there for. That's the only argument that will ever come is people stating absolute ridiculousness in the YouTube chat. Absolute, like Kevin says, they've got flawed rhetoric. They cannot express what it is that they want to be talking about. I mean, it doesn't even really need to be repeated. But there's not many people that can state these things. I'll put a few in the
I was listening before. I couldn't talk. Was that whatever that was talking?
That was whatever. Yeah, he came in over on Sunday.
Right. It's so predictable. You can tell at the point, like when you were telling him about level and horizontal, and he agreed. And you can see the point where they hit the cog this event horizon that I call it. You can see where they go from, level horizontal, and then right away they picture the globe in their mind, right? And then they just do a twilight zone. You can predict the exact moment when they're going to do it. It's frightening, actually, how they think. No logic whatsoever. Right away, they picture the model.
Yeah, and they cannot come and engage in conversation, so they make up ridiculous ways to not have conversation.
And especially with somebody versed in geometry, they will avoid that like the plague.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got one in the chat right now who's claiming to be a mathematician, but There's no mathematics coming out of them. It's just really poor rhetoric and bad sophistry.
Yeah, come in, buddy. Show us what you got. Here's your chance. You got an audience. Show us what you got. Here's your chance.
Yeah, I timed him out
Tell
again.
us where
so-
this line. Oh, sorry, Kevin.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I timed him out again in the YouTube chat. So he was, taking, trying to take Emma apart. So that's
Yeah.
not going to be allowed. Personal attacks. Stay on the topic. Personal attacks aren't allowed. And come on into VC because you've got another 300-second timeout. But VC's always open in the Discord.
Yeah, the idea is to converse and conversate more with people. Not
Can't
to
talk.
talk
Don't be
stupid.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but see, these people, everybody
They need
knows.
to.
Yeah, but everybody knows that they only talk in the text chat. So if you give them the conversation that they want in the text chat, then why would they ever need to come in and have a voice chat? There's not many people that are willing to come round here anymore. Definitely, they don't want to come into the voice chat because they know what happens. They know that real people talk about real things, and they can't. They cannot come in and conversate about reality. The basics, advanced simplicity. They can't engage in advanced simplicity. I think that's the truth of the matter. We have advanced simplicity and they have dogma. Their dogma cannot deal with advanced simplicity. It has no response. Their dogma has no foundations. Therefore, they cannot compete with advanced simplicity. Based in reality. Simple facts of reality as well. And since
Speaking of advanced simplicity,
go on.
It seems that perpendicular is on vogue now. In vogue? How do you say that? En vogue? Yeah.
Always been about perpendicular. They just didn't realize it up until now.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, there is only well, like I've said for a long time, perpendicularity is the proof of the straight line. Because there are only straight lines that have perpendicular relationships. Now they will say as much different as they can to avoid that fact, but it is a fact. It's a mathematical fact of reality. In order for you to have a perpendicular, you require a straight line. Now, which one of the two is perpendicular to the other is irrelevant. They can be governed and deemed as the same thing, which becomes tricky to think of within mathematics, but it does work and it is correct. The straight line being perpendicular means that either of the lines are deemed to be the same through the perpendicular relationship. Geometrically, when you relate those two straight lines to reality and add an orientation to them, then you have vertical and horizontal, like everybody knows. That basic simple fact has led people into thinking and telling people that elevation profiles of those straight lines have to curve. The only way that happens is with the injection of a model. So you must have the model in play for you to be able to do that. And how do you get somebody, how do you get a group of adults to say that a straight line has to curve?
You put a model in their head and they fight for it automatically, almost as if they're Stockholmed.
I challenged myself to do that. I thought, you know, it's no good for you to tell people. I've watched this group of people react with flat earthers for a long time. One of the reasons I'm not a flat earther is because I've watched how flat earthers react. I'm definitely not one of those. You hold back. You have to get these guys to talk about their own model. The only way you get them to say that straight lines curve is to get them to talk about their own model. That's where we are now. This is it. Some very strange times coming. I've seen it coming for quite a while. It's already been happening to us, within the fact that I think most of us are just fed up. Fed up with people trying to tell us about their fantasy. Saying that you can't have reality because my fantasy gets upset. Time's ended. Have we got...
That's literally what it is.
Yeah, I think we've got...
Like, don't talk.
Go on, sorry.
No, my bad. I interrupted you. Finish up.
No, go on.
I was gonna say it's come to a point where, yeah, it's it's like they're like entrenched with the model. It's like crazy glue, right? It's like at both sides a lot. It's not just one side, even the other side. They're just, the model is crazy glued on them. I don't know how else to say it. They can't shed the model.
Well, it's the competition, right? When you say they can't shed the model, it becomes, I don't know. I think personally the flat earthers have a model too, and as well as the globe earthers. Well,
yeah,
I've never been coming from that position. So if you start talking about their model, they end up thinking that you're in a fight. That's the way it seems to me. And that fight attitude, it's like they're fighting flat earthers whenever you point out something about reality. And I can't understand that fact. That I'm literally coming from reality and knowing about reality and how these things do. We've tested all sorts of stuff. And that's in my adult life, not knowing what I'd learned about surveying earlier. Right? I've got the experience of all of that stuff. And now, look at us. I've grown so much. But I don't know what anybody else has got from this. They still chase us. They're fighting flat earth, not realizing that we are just talking about reality, not flat earthers, just people who live in reality. Godzilla, 'tis globe. Thank you very much, Gods. Of course it's globe. Everybody knows it's globe. They've had it ingrained into them since childhood. people can't get rid of it. So to try and remove that from people, but I think it's that childhood thing that gets developed into adulthood. The paracosm that's built at childhood. In some people, it's been built really strong. And you would understand what that means, right? I do, anyway. I came into this arena because of my son. He was 13 at the time when I started, to realise that I needed to be able to do something to help him. I'm still not so sure how well it's come, and it's turned out. It is 2023, and we are developing in these modern times. But I have personally learned a lot more about how we ended up in this situation. The times have been changing. Every generation always says, it wasn't like it was in my day. Well, that's true because of the development of education and pre-programming people in early adulthood and even younger. So you're never going to get rid of that model in certain people. Certain people might not have had the model put in there as heavily.
Yeah. Didn't you say your son just started college?
He's done his first year in college, yeah.
I'd say that's pretty good parenting.
Yeah, he's done. I think he's done well. Like, but say there's still a lot more stuff to be able to, you know. Reality is different nowadays. It may be easier for him to grow up. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know about easier, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how economics is going to work in the future. And I'm not coming from a position of being able to support him that much myself, you know. Not in the position to be able to do that. So who knows? I mean, I don't know how I got here, you know, in this place doing this sort of thing. So who knows what happens with people? I don't know. I live my life by a different method now. I'm guessing Logos is the governing being.
Hey Bev, do you want to address the comments in the YouTube chat? I think fairly, Paige has a question for, well, what can I say in the YouTube chat then? Nothing? Or just only push people to the Discord?
Well, I don't. It's the conversation's meant to be just the conversation in the chat. I'm not too sure what this channel's going to be going on. You know, it's about the try thinking, right? So I want everybody to get involved in it. Personally, I've had enough of the flat Earth, globe Earth bullshit, and we know that there's going to be trolls coming in, but I'm not really bothered about trolls. I've had enough. We want new people to come in and talk, not trolls. I'm not interested in talking to trolls. Everybody knows what that's going to be like. I'd rather talk to real people about stuff, about how we get here and how we all got here. There's not that many people actually that have reached this part of this arena. The conversations about the people that are in here, that's far more important than dealing with people with delusions. I've had enough of it. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's trying to go over a video with sorry, let me sort out this one. Mike Jones sends in this one. It says, "It's a shame that I missed my buddy whatever this weekend. He is the prime proponent of simultaneous below. He and our deluded pal Wally. They're not well. I hope they get the help they need." See, these things and these conversations. Yeah, Godzilla corrected him. Help. Mike, thank you. All gods. It's all right. I got him covered, gods. So, yeah, the conversations that we have to be brought around have got nothing to do with this Earth-shaped thing. They go way deeper now. There's people that have been, let's say, lied to. And they're affected in some very strange ways. I don't think we need to encourage it or even acknowledge it. Yeah, I don't. If you want to talk about flat Earth and globe Earth and have those sort of arguments, then this isn't the place for you anymore. This is a different thing here. We're talking about how the mind deals with you being bombarded constantly with negative things. People telling you that you don't know things. That it doesn't matter whether you do know them or not. I don't think that's the way for people to talk. We need to be able to communicate about all of that sort of stuff. These conversations, there are always going to be people that want to talk to flat earthers. There's plenty of other channels and plenty of other things to do with that. I'm just not there. And I'm sorry if people have followed us for that reason. They think that's what we're about. I think we've been saying for quite a long time, this isn't flat Earth. This is what we're on about here now is how people can be fooled and how people react to hearing about these contradictions. Because you can definitely show the contradictions between reality and the dogmatic model. Let's just talk about that sort of stuff and how the mind reacts to those, hearing those contradictions. Sorry, go on, Kev.
Well, I was just gonna say, and I agree with that, but I think even further, it's like to see how the mind gets wrapped up in these things. Do you ever wonder why whether it's in this little arena or others, let's say politics or even religion or some other ones, it's the same kind of uh, textual. Um, it's not even a chat really. It's just garbage puke, right? That you see played over and over and over again. The same concepts, the same topics, the same things just get spun out over and over ad nauseum, puke, right? That's why you say that ad nauseum. So did you ever wonder why that is? Well, eh, I think it's because no one has actual conversations anymore, real conversations to progress a conversation to the point where where maybe the two parties go, "Okay, I kind of get where you are, you kind of get where I am. We're done. We can go our separate ways. We're not going to make any more progress here and you let it go." And then that's it. But that never happens in this arena. It's always, let's talk about this again. Let's talk about this again. Didn't we just talk about that 2 days ago or yesterday or this morning? Yes, doesn't matter. Let's do it again. Let's spin it out all again. No one's changing anyone's mind. The conversation isn't progressing. It's useless. But the mind wants to stay there. Why? It's fascinating. Is it like a warm bath or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah. We got get Paige to give us your link. Paige is trying to start up a YouTube channel. Well, it's not. It's already got 600 subs. That's more than quite a lot of people. There you go. Everybody, jump in the YouTube chat. Click that link for Paige. Get sub into Paige. We've been saying for a bit we'd like to have a go at sort of interviewing, having conversations with people in this arena, but about a different topic. Not about the arguments within this arena, but about life within this arena, to make people aware of what occurs when you come in here. And obviously, Paige being a woman, how that affects the conversations. So yeah, if we can start doing those sort of things. But yeah, I definitely, me personally, I never was involved within the flat Earth / globe Earth argument or conversation. I've never wanted to be involved in it. There are a group of people that have wanted to draw me into it for whatever purpose, I don't know, because I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to link the reality proofs that we have to flat Earth. Then they could dismiss them as flat Earth. Well, they're not. They never have been, and they never will be. They are reality-based arguments. The flat Earth-based arguments are the ones about sextants and stuff like that. Non-existent black swans.
Can I just toss something? Yeah, can I toss something in there? Because a lot of the flat Earth people, they'll say, yeah, the Earth's flat. Look at this horizon over water. That proves that the Earth that I'm standing on is flat because I look over water and the horizontal is straight.
Bit of a contradiction there, right?
But the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
But I look out, but I'm showing you something over water. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I like Bev. I come here and I hang out and I listen all the time, and this is the best place I find for myself. But I find myself talking less and less about the shape of the Earth.
It's not appealing at all, is it?
Yeah, no, I totally understand it, but I enjoy the conversations that go on here when they're not about the shape of the Earth. Like, I'm not sure. Just throwing in my 2 cents. I just thought I'd let you know that. Because I do still kind of identify as somebody who relates to the flat earthers, but a lot of them are just getting dumber and dumber and saying stupider and stupider things the longer they've been in it. I find the longer that I've been in it, the more and more it's not actually flat, and it doesn't have to have a shape. Like, there doesn't need to be discussion over a shape. It doesn't have to have one.
And that's why I got so aggravated. Anywhere, is it?
Yeah, like that's what had me aggravated with the guys over on that other debate show, just going at you saying you've got some sort of agenda because you won't accept flat as flat, but none of it's flat. Not even the water that they're looking across. It's ridiculous. I sense your frustration, Bev. Let me put it to you that way. But I do think that your conversations are much more appealing and engaging. You're just not getting the promotions that you probably should be getting. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
I really got a lot of work to do. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you. Rob.
that's good, Rob. What Bev has said in the past is, there's a old saying or an axiom, I guess, that some people can't see the forest for the trees. Everybody's heard of that. Just means you miss the bigger picture. You can't see the forest for the trees. You're so into the minutia of whatever this little uh, tiny area or arena is, that you miss the bigger picture. Well, what's the bigger picture? The lack of education, the lack of really understanding what it means to know something, the lack of understanding of what real science is, the lack of understanding about reality. Missing all those things because you can't see the forest for the trees.
I think you can't see the logic for the argument. Is
Yeah,
a bit more fitting, because
maybe.
the argument stops you from seeing the logic. Thought about saying it the other way around, right? You can't see the argument for the logic. Can't see
No,
the
I think it's
logic
the other
for
way
the
around.
argument. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely the argument that's the word argument has led people into believing that a heated discussion or even name calling is now an argument. I think that's where they've gone wrong. So therefore, you cannot see the logic for the argument. Stops people from understanding that the argument is based in logic, and it's not very logical to ad hom and make fallacious logic in argumentation. It's just not. And we have somebody else in the Discord chat again, probably long time text chat troll. I don't know whether he's been in to be verified through I found out as well, guys, you guys, that I can't see your names. It's because I have my streamer mode on through Discord. What it's doing is it's having your name is the original name, so it's blanking that out for streamer mode. So you guys obviously haven't given yourself a name either within the server or within Discord. Your name is your background name. They've changed the way that they deal with that. So if you want to sort that out, or if you can, doesn't really matter. Keep talking about stuff that we're not really interested in the Discord. I'm going to start expanding all of that sort of stuff, because then we can just completely shut out the conversation. Yeah, there is a verified role, Saragaki. No way. That must have just added that. Yeah, they're not scary words, so I don't know what you're talking about. Very strange people in this arena. Like we say, if anybody does want to have a conversation, if anybody's up for taking on a conversation about reality, it's strange that people aren't taking this on as a challenge. I did. I personally, I took it as a personal challenge. When somebody challenged me to prove, can you prove that level is horizontal? Could it be done? Could it be done by a normal, everyday person? Is that something that people could do for themselves? I think you could. You can live stream now, Paige, can't you? I think you just need to get to 1,000 to have a community. But I think you should be able to live stream at any time. You should be able to help you out a bit. Yeah, we might be able to sort something out, Paige. You want to team up in a debate, think? That should be quite good. Is it 1,000 before you can live stream? I don't think so. I didn't have to have mine. But yeah, it's because it is because I have a streamer mode on, and Discord is like a gamer platform, and when they changed their names around just recently, if you didn't actually change your name from what it was, it goes down as your original name. It's modern day. You have to go along with modern day things. That's the way it is. The way of the world. All change.
Change your name, change your gender. Yeehaw!
He won't
I
come
have
into
no clue
Vincent.
about these pronouns. What
I don't
what
know.
it is? What
I don't have any professionals. No, I must have missed that day. Like I say, I missed a lot of English. I didn't really do that, and I know it is a title, unless that's a way of getting around that, calling it a title.
like doctor or professor?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, mister. Or whatever. I wasn't, like, times have changed. It wasn't like that in my day. I don't know. I've never really talked to my son about that because I don't think he's involved in it. And I wasn't aware of it myself, so. But that might be changed for different. Yeah, I think it sorts like that anyway, Kevin. Right, what are we going to do? Are we done? Can we go into the Discord? Can we have an early finish? Go into Discord? Because I've got some scripting I'd like to help people go over with. Not really meant for the live show, so team on the level. Anybody wants to come and get involved with future projects, come into the Discord.
I will have to come back in about an hour, so that I got to make some tech support calls.
Yeah, no problem.
I need some tech support. But I'll
Yeah.
be back in a little while, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Bev.
Yeah, I'm going to end this a little bit early. Let you guys know we've got a bit of information. If Askin wants to come in and have a word with Emma, he missed Emma this morning. Let Emma know about what's going on. Okay, so future video chat in Discord. Anybody that wants to come and get involved in it, please do, because this is about all of us on the level, all about progressing an argument from reality. We're leaving behind all of that stupid. This is about me approaching people in reality and how to approach those conversations and the future of where Try Thinking's going. So pop on in. We're going to be scripting some stuff. Let me sort. What haven't we had? Any requests for Buster? I'm going to do that as well, Saragaki. Yeah. Logos. Oh, yeah, have a listen to the Nathan Oakley one. Okie dokie. Join us tomorrow. Hopefully, we might be starting doing some book club sort of stuff. Maybe get a bit of it going. Okay, see you tomorrow. Jump in Discord.
I've been doing this for 4 fucking years. If you didn't fucking get it by now, get the fuck out of here.
Off to the rest of your spastics and tell them you can do nothing.
Yeah, you can, you stuttery.
Yes, spastics, fuck off, go away. Tell people you can't do anything.
Your stupid globe, and I know you'll never back your claims.
Fuck off back to your spastic retard.
Yeah, whatever, Nathan. You're a genius.
That's my fucking argument and demonstration of being a spastic.
Demeaning our argument with statements like, you can do fuck all with an angle.
What can you do with an angle?
Shut up, bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Nobody was talking.
You shut the fuck up, Nathan.
I'll remove you if you don't shut up while I talk to Beth.
I will do what the fuck I like. Bev, you've been talking. Can you say to them all, fuck all with an angle, and then mention me in that? You are personally in talking. Therefore, I'm going to take a strip on you based on your ignorance of that. That's what I'm going to do. Or you stuff it. Okay? So that would be doing something with an angle, wouldn't it, then? Yeah, it would, you stupid fucking retard. So our problem isn't with you personally, it's with you being stupid. Not understanding that you can do something with an angle. An elevation angle may do some kind of position on the flat plane. The six, you don't understand this, and you're attempting to demean our argument. Statement like you can do fuck all with an angle. You can do lots with an angle, unless you're a fucking retard, like you. You can measure your position on Earth by way of elevation angles. That is doing something with an angle. Zero comprehension of the argument that we put across. Our responses to his mate.
Right, Bev, you can measure and find your position on the flat plane with an elevation angle.
Talk about your 2D surface.
Called Adam Flat Earth side.
No, you ain't got no purpose in life.
Fuckwits, you told you not explain the argument. The spastics I'm telling you to go back to. Did they not comprehend the argument and put it across to you? You're surrounded by fucking retards then. Clearly, we have an argument. I'm giving it to you now.
Learn the fucking scientific method or get the fuck out of here.
I'm not surprised. Look, listen to you lot. Don't go fucking mental over a simple geometric fact. You've got a third of a triangle, and yet you're doing magic with it.
Adam, your flat Earth society, mate.
It's called Adam Flat Earth Society. Call QE, Owen, a wanker all you like, yeah? Okay, well, while Bev's here, I just want to say, if you're subscribed to Bev, you're a spastic like Bev, because he's going to make you stupid, like he's making all of us stupid. Unsubscribe to him immediately. Definitely don't give him any money, because the guy's a fucking retard. He's going to make you more stupid, and he's going to either be conveying his stupidity to you to soak up,
Adam,
or he's
your
fucking
flat
lying
Earth
to you.
society, mate.
Either way, he's poison.
Flat Earth endorsement. Thank you very much,
Shut up,
Nathan.
Bev, while I tell my audience
So
to
fuck off!
unsubscribe from you and never give you any money.
Oh,
Yeah,
telling your
that's what I'm telling
audience.
you.
Okay.
While I tell you to shut up, Bev, I'll tell my audience, you, Bev, are a fucking thicko, and nobody should be subscribed to you.
Just living in reality, Nathan. Don't worry.
Shut up, while I tell the audience that you're fucking thick and they should
So fuck off!
Spoiled bitch. Excuse me, Daddy, if you call Adam Flat Earth Society, kick him out, he's a fucking retard. He doesn't belong here, he's a spastic. Another Adam. He's attacking Andrew and me, and then Adam again with Adam. I haven't just called Bev a spastic. I called Adam Flat Earth Society. Can't do anything with an angle. An angle will be acquired through a star and GP on a plane. That's an argument. It's an ad bomb.
I think you guys are having a communication problem.
No, then we're fucking angle.
So fuck off!
Dead air again. Shut up! Everybody else, shut the fuck up. Free ad bomb.
So fuck off!
Yeah, you need other things, John, though. When you oversimplify it only, that means you don't understand the principle of celestial navigation. That's what we were pointing out there. I think you personally, where you get your pants in a bunch about you as an individual, like we give a fuck. Like we give a fuck about you and your personal problems that our people talk about. You are a wanker, and we will treat you like a wanker, because that's how wankers get treated. Personally. Well, this fucking stupid bitch attacks everybody personally. It's called Adam Flat Earth Society. Describe how the use of an angle to find your position on a flat plane when measuring it through the star of a singular angle at that point is useful, because it will use the angle singular to support your position at sea on a plane. Now that's an argument. It's not me just calling him thick like you just called Adam Flat Earth Society.
I'm sick of this shit! Not you, Nathan!
Understand? It was an argument against his assertion that you can do nothing with an angle. You can. You can save your life at sea by measuring that angle from the star. Called Adam Flat Earth Society. What does text do?
Measures angles.
You can do fuck all with an angle, Bev! He says you can do fuck all with an angle, and he is wrong.
Not you, Nathan! I'm talking to everyone!
And my fucking balls taste you unbelievable spastic!
Just an angle, Nathan. No need to get upset about it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Yeah.
Are we?
You can do fuck all with an angle.
I can demonstrate what you can do with an angle.
You've got one angle. What are you doing with it? What are you? How do you draw a circle with an angle?
You just don't know what.
How do you draw a circle with an angle?
Understand? It was an argument against his assertion that you can do nothing with an angle. You can. You can save your life at sea by measuring that angle to the star. Communication of an angle that you've measured. That's not doing something with it, right, Bev? You fucking retard, you spastic, you dumbo, you thick fuck.
I did concede.
Shut up, Owen!
Not much.
You can do fuck all with an angle.